Welcome back. Do you sometimes wonder how other moms seem to have it all together? Well, I am here to show you that behind every perfect Instagram post is a whirlwind of reality. And I'm sharing with you my journey to make homemaking a little bit easier. Your place in your bed, showing no regret. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. It was a early morning on this day. I am not usually up and making breakfast this early in the morning. However, Bjorn had his field trip to SeaWorld today, so I had to get up, pump, feed the baby, and then get lunch ready for Bjorn. Use my witchcraft. Talking rude, you're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back, and it's a fact, no turning back. You got me tiptoeing around you like you made of glass. So I know I've answered this question before, but I still get this question all the time, and it's what I do with all my extra milk supply that I have from having Athena. So I freeze dry milk. That is how we are preserving milk for Athena when I am done pumping. I plan on weaning off come June or July because we have our big trip to Tennessee in fall right before school starts back up. So I've been freeze drying milk for her, and then I'm currently donating to a local mama for her baby, and I actually just started speaking to a second mom to be donating her milk as well, just because I have so much. I have filled the freezer for the one mom, and I needed somewhere else for it to go. So I always, every day, once or twice a day, it just kind of depends on how much I have that day. I will go through, and the milk blocks that I put in my Ziploc bags, those go to the mamas, and then these ice cube trays are what I use to freeze dry milk. So I'll go through, separate it all out, and then refill baggies as well as the ice cube trays, and just make it that I have room again in my freezer and my refrigerator, because at night I get the most amount of milk, so it fills up real fast. So if I don't do this right away in the morning, I don't have anywhere for the milk throughout the day to go. When I use my witchcraft, when I use my witchcraft, come on. You got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass, but you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use my witchcraft. When I use my witchcraft, I've got my moves, I got my song. When I turn my mojo on, I'm feeling fine, I'm feeling strong. It won't take long when I use my witchcraft. So this morning was definitely a much earlier day than normal. I do not normally wake up that early and make lunch and everything for Bjorn, but with him having his field trip today and everything, I wanted to make sure to do that because the diet-friendly option that the school offers for peanut allergies, I'm just not a fan of. So whenever he has field trips, I just make his lunch. But I wanted to take a quick second and do my makeup. You guys know me, quick, easy. I want a natural look. So, and you guys, let's be honest, you guys are just my accountability partners. I said I want to do my makeup at least 5 times a week, and I've been sticking to it.
But I will say I have been loving this Merit Beauty makeup. It makes it so much easier. So this is the Minimalist stick. Pretty simple. I got it in the chiffon color. It works like almost perfectly for my skin. But what's nice about it is it just blends in so seamlessly. And it's buildable. So this is like think of it as your concealer and foundation all in one. So I like to do one layer all over my face. And then I will just go back to the areas that I want a little bit brighter, like my under eyes, and just do one extra layer, and that's it. But I like it because it doesn't feel like I am caking on makeup. It feels super thin and doesn't look cakey. All right, so these are the two blush colors I got from them. So I have Le Bonbon and I have Stockholm. Le Bonbon is really pretty, but I usually go in with Stockholm just because it's more of a neutral color. It's not quite as bright, so for like day-to-day makeup, I feel like it works really, really well. It doesn't look like this crazy bright. It just adds a little bit of colors to my cheek. I also love that this is really good for all skin types, which for me is important because I have really sensitive skin. So I don't want anything that'll end up messing up my skin. Now for the highlighting balm. So Merit is like a luxury brand with like a minimalist approach. I like that they are vegan and cruelty free. This highlighting glow is so pretty though. Look at that. It's not over the top, just enough to like wake you up. I've gotten pretty good at this little 5-minute routine now that I have just like super basic products to go to. I know exactly what I'm grabbing for. I honestly should probably downsize my makeup collection because this is all I grab for now because I can grab it, put it on, super easy. This is just their brow brush in dark brown because my eyebrows are a little bit lighter than my hair. And then the mascara. I just put mascara on my top lash because I want it to just like open up my eyes and make me look more awake. And when you are surviving on 6 non-consecutive hours of sleep a night, anything that makes me look more awake is my friend right now. But I also know I've been dealing with allergies. So that's the other reason I don't put it on my bottom lash. Is I don't want to like accidentally rub my eye and then it go smearing everywhere. Last step, the tinted lip oil. So I have two, once again, very natural. I know this one looks darker, but this color is almost identical to my lip color, which is always what I'm looking for. I don't want something super bright. So this one is Pink Beat, and then this one is just Bel Air. So this just adds a little bit to it. But this is nice because this is like super nourishing to your lips and it doesn't feel like sticky and I don't know, clumpy. That's what I don't like about a lot of lipsticks is it just feels super heavy and clumpy on my lips. This is just like putting on a chapstick for nourishment. But yeah, you can see that color is like almost identical. That's it. Simple, 5 minutes. This is what I've been doing every single day. And I will say, I have been feeling better just taking those 5 minutes every single day to do my own makeup. Also, yes, I am in Athena's room because I wanted to show you guys this. And she has got the best lighting. She got the desk by the window. She's got the best lighting where in my bathroom, it's great for doing makeup, except that on video, I get so blown out. But so many of you guys have been asking about the makeup I've been using, and I said I would share it with you, so I figured do it in here today. If you're looking to try Merit for yourself, I'm going to have a link in my description box below that'll get you up to 15% off exclusive sets. Plus, first orders get this great little makeup bag to go along with it. and orders over $40 ship free. So definitely make sure you check it out, and a big thank you to Merit for sponsoring this portion of today's video.
Do you ever feel you don't get out what you're putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain.
So I didn't need to clean my entire bedding on this day, but something had spilled on our top comforter. So I wanted to pull that off and wash it right away. Nice thing about having multiple comforters is sometimes I only have to do one or two things. I don't have to completely strip the bed because I try and only wash my bedding once a week. When you've got a bunch of beds in the house to wash, doing it more than once a week just isn't very feasible. So I just was throwing the comforter in real quick and then just tidying up the rest of the bedroom. This is the one chore that I always like to get done pretty early in the morning. And I say that sometimes it could be 8 a.m. There's other days that it's closer to noon, but I do try and get it done. I like to be able to come in my room and just relax sometimes. I am definitely someone that I can get overstimulated really easy. So one, having a clean house helps with that, but also when it comes to just needing some quiet time, being able to come in my room and if the rest of the house can be chaotic, but if I can at least come in here and relax for 5 minutes, it helps so much. I really think it's been good that this year I've been focusing on self-care in many different ways. In my weight, just how I feel about myself with doing my makeup every single day, working on my inner health with vitamins and doing my hormone check with the doctors and everything. I really do think it's been making a huge difference and really helping with my postpartum, because if you've had kids before, postpartum can be really, really difficult, and we don't often talk about it because, I don't know, I still think it's one of those things that us moms often feel guilty about mentioning if we are struggling postpartum, so it just never gets talked about. But postpartum stinks. It can really, really not be fun. So taking this year and focusing on myself has made a huge difference. I've noticed a difference just in my mood overall, and then just my energy levels as well. I have so much more energy now that I'm just doing even just the basics of my makeup every day, which for the longest time I was like, it doesn't really matter. I don't go anywhere. I'm very much a homebody. Why should I put on makeup? But I will say, self-confidence wise, I have noticed a big difference. Taking 5 minutes to focus on me when pretty much the rest of the day I'm focusing on everyone else in my life is huge, and not something I really thought would make the biggest difference in the world. But in the kitchen, you see, it wasn't too crazy. However, I really wanted to make chocolate chip cookies today. The kids have been begging for them, and I've just been putting it off because I wanted to make a big enough batch that not only could I make cookies today, but I could throw some in the freezer. That way, in the future, I have a couple sets that I can just pull out, pop into the oven, and have homemade chocolate chip cookies, easy and ready to go.
Has got to come my
I am super excited though for this week. Bobby's brother and his wife are coming into town on Sunday, so we are going to be having them over. They're spending most of their trip in Orlando, taking their two girls to Disney, but Sunday they're going to be by us, and I just know it's going to be so much fun. It's their first time being to our house, and the girls love to swim. Whenever we go up to Wisconsin, Bobby's parents have a pool, and the kids spend literally all day in Grandma and Granddad's pool. So I know everyone's really going to enjoy hanging out by the pool. I plan on cooking something on the grill. I haven't decided what, but I figured grilling is always perfect when you just want to just kind of hang out and chill with people. So I want to make sure the house is in really good shape before they come. That way we can all just hang out, relax. Also, we're not quite sure if they're spending like overnight over here or if they're going to be heading to Orlando later in the day. But I was looking on Amazon and saying this, so if any of you are looking for mattresses, I was able to find mattresses on Amazon for like $60 for a twin size mattress. They were on sale, so they weren't originally $60. That was the sale price. And I've been wanting to replace the kids' mattresses. I don't spend a ton on kids' mattresses anyway, because let's be honest, kids are rough on mattresses. They are, between their being little and accidents or spilling something or whatever. And the mattress protectors I originally got were horrendous, like the worst mattress protectors ever. Everything got through them. They didn't protect the mattress at all. But I saw that sale and I'm like, Bobby, we really should just get the kids new mattresses. I can get 4 of them for what I would normally buy 1 mattress for. Plus got them new mattress protectors. But that way, the boys have new mattresses, Freya has a new mattress, and then we finally have the mattress for the bottom trundle of Freya's bed, which will eventually be Athena's bed. But that way, if my nieces want to spend the night and maybe Bobby's brother and his wife want to get a night to themselves while they're on vacation, the girls can sleep over here and then they can go and do whatever they'd like. So you guys saw in a recent video that I just water glassed all of those duck eggs. That's what I was putting in the pantry, and I was putting them on the bottom shelf to the back because those won't get used till the winter time. But I already have so many eggs. The girls have been laying like crazy. So I am thinking later this week, I want to make homemade pasta. It's another great way to use up a lot of eggs. The biggest thing, though, that I have to figure out, and I think I might do it in Athena's room, is to make them shelf stable. You have to let them dry for like 48 hours. So my thought is, if I take one of our folding tables, put it in Athena's room, and then lay the pasta out in there, it shouldn't get messed with. So I want to try that. Let me know if you guys want to see me attempt that. I like sharing recipes on here, and sometimes the recipes I share are like ones I've never tried before, so you guys are trying them for the first time with me. But I think that would be a great thing to do. We love pasta in our house. Like, if we have to pick a carb, usually it's going to be pasta. Sometimes we'll do rice. Potatoes are rare. We enjoy potatoes, but I don't do them on a regular basis. But pasta, absolutely love them. I could probably make a pasta dish every single night, and Bobby and the kids would be thrilled. So this is actually our spring break week. I'm curious, when are your kids on spring break? I know, like I said, our kids have this week. My sisters and them are next week, but they're obviously in Wisconsin. We were talking the other day at Sunday dinner how it's crazy how spring breaks have changed, because my parents were saying it used to be everyone's spring break always landed right around Easter. And now it feels like spring break is like all over the place, especially when you think of the different spring breaks from grade school to high school to middle school and then colleges. And then being here in Florida, we don't just get spring breakers from America. We actually get a lot of Canadian spring breakers as well as all over the world. And it's funny because it seems like middle of March through all of April is spring break down here. Every single week there seems to be spring breakers from a different part of the country or the different part of the entire world.
You know I want you close, maybe hold your hand a little while. Somehow I know you're gonna be the girl that I'll end.
Also, if I sound funny in today's video, I apologize. The pollen right now is intense and my nose is like all stuffy and everything, and I know I just sound horrible just from allergies. So that is why I might sound a little bit funny to you guys today. But just doing a quick wipe down of the counters. I always say, I feel like if you are just getting started on your like cleaning journey, let's say you're newly married, no kids or only one kid, I think it's really important to learn the basics of tidying up before getting really good at cleaning. And what do I mean by tidying up is going to be like tackling the flat surfaces and clutter every single day and not letting it build up. If you can get to where you can like focus in on one room at a time, because if you're anything like me, it's really easy to get distracted by something and jump from place to place in your house. But if you can focus on one room at a time and then just like the flat surfaces and just tidying up, the cleaning comes so much more naturally. A lot of the things I do, it's funny because when I'm vlogging or even filming these cleaning videos, I sometimes can get like stuck in a rut. Like I feel like this is boring. Like my life isn't crazy exciting. I'm not going on trips every other week or anything like that. But I think it's important to show like just these mundane tasks can be overwhelming to anyone, but getting into a really good habit makes it a lot easier in the long run. I will often feel like I didn't do anything all day when really I've done a lot, but because it's all based off of habit, so wiping down the counters, making sure the dishes are done, those are all things that have just become habit to me, so I never feel so overwhelmed. And I feel like not feeling overwhelmed is the biggest thing because it's really easy as moms and homemakers. It's not always, a lot of people want to be like, oh, well, it's not that hard to do blank tasks, but it's not always those tasks that really overwhelm us. It's those tasks on top of the mental load of everything else that can get really overwhelming. Alright, time to start prepping the chocolate chip cookies. So what I want to do is make enough chocolate chip cookies that I can freeze some. That way whenever the kids want chocolate chip cookies, I just have them on hand instead of having to make a whole batch. So I want to make these and then set them up to freeze them. That way I can just pull them out of the freezer whenever and make a batch. All right, so I have 2 sticks of butter that I threw into the microwave for like 30 seconds because this is supposed to be room temp, but the ones I have aren't room temp. So I wanted to melt them slightly. And I am going to add a cup of packed brown sugar. So there's half. And there's a full cup. And then a cup of white sugar. I'm going to add a splash of vanilla, 1 egg. And then we just want to cream this together. So I'm just gonna let this all mix as I put the dry ingredients together. So now I'm just gonna put all the dry ingredients in here. So I'm gonna start with 4 cups of flour. This does make a big batch of cookies, and I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do 2 batches or just the one. I'm gonna play it by ear. I'm starting with just 1 batch because honestly my KitchenAid won't do 2 batches this size. So we're gonna start out with the first batch. And then you want a teaspoon of baking powder. Teaspoon of salt. And then a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And then you can use a sift if you want to get rid of any lumps and blend this all together, or just a whisk. I'm just using a whisk. It's easier to clean when I'm done, and it does the job just as good. But I just want to make sure that there's no big lumps in here and all those ingredients are blended together well. See, all my wet ingredients are blended nicely, and I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time. I don't want to add it all in at once. Just, I don't know, half a cup at a time, and then mix it. At this point, this can pretty much be the base to most any cookies, so add whatever you want. Different candies, nuts, oatmeal, raisins, pretty much whatever you want. We are doing semi-traditional, just chocolate chips. And you can mix these in with a spoon, or what honestly is just, I find easier, is make sure your hands are clean and just mix them in by hand. I'm gonna do a bag of white chocolate chips in ours, and then a bag of semi-sweet minis. And then just mix it all together till it's fully combined. And the reason I like using my hands is it just, the dough can be pretty thick. And this just makes sure it actually gets completely through your dough. Once it's all incorporated, I'm gonna dump it onto here. And then we're gonna spread it all out evenly as possible. That way we can pop this into the freezer.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck.
I definitely highly recommend cutting them into your shapes before freezing them, because it's going to be a lot harder to cut them once they're frozen. So after I had them all on this tray and cut up, I put them in the freezer for, I don't know, it was like probably 3 hours or something like that. And then I will just break them apart and put them into individual freezer bags. And it was great. It made like 4 batches. So I was able to make a batch right away on this day, and then have 3 more batches that I can make whenever the kids or Bobby decide they are hungry for fresh chocolate chip cookies.
Can let her hair down, but got her feet on the ground. I can't get enough of her.
And when I cook these off, it is nice to keep them on a piece of parchment. Otherwise, just make sure you oil your pan or have a really good non-stick pan. Preheat your oven to 350, and I believe I cooked these for about 15 minutes. But what you really just want to watch for is once they start browning around the edges, pull them and let them cool completely, and that's how you're going to get a really nice inside with a nice outside. You don't want the whole thing to be brown, because otherwise it will keep cooking once you pull it out and it's overcooked. So just look for that nice brown exterior, and you get the perfect chocolate chip cookies. But now I'm just moving into the family room, giving it a quick tidy up. Bobby was actually going to be taking out this coffee table. It's mainly made out of like a pressed board, and all the slats and stuff on the top, I was just getting really sick of cleaning out. So he decided that he was going to remake the top, which if you watch our family vlog channel, you would have seen it because he just recently got done with it, and it is so pretty. It's nice because now the color of the table matches all the other tables he has made, but it has a new top. So it didn't cost him that much, and it really did make a huge difference. My next big project is the shelves on either side of the fireplace as well in the dining room. I want to take all of those down, sand them down, and restain them. That way all the wood in the house has that same finish that we've been using on all of the tables.
The way she looks in my eyes, and I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country, yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little
I have to say, I think this is my absolute favorite part about having leather furniture. And you guys know me, I was very hesitant about getting leather furniture for the longest time because that fear of it's cold and uncomfortable. I had that same feeling, but I love our leather furniture. If you have kids and pets, you know furniture in general just gets dirty really, really easy. And I love that when I am just wiping down my tables and stuff with my basic multi-purpose cleaner, I can also wipe down the leather and get it clean. It just works great. Like I said, between the paw prints from the dogs coming up and down, or just food being spilt, drinks being spilt, we are not the type of family that's like, oh, you can't eat in the family room or you can't drink in the family room. Like, we're not that way. Nothing against people that are that way. It's just never something that really bothered me. So I like being able to do a quick just wipe down, and everything works so much better. I do like, though, flipping and rotating my cushions about once a week. That way everything gets worn more evenly. So for like this couch, this left seat, pretty much no one sits there. So I just like to push all the seat cushions down one. That way they're wearing a lot more even. Plus, the foam in your cushions will bounce back. It normally takes a couple weeks for it to start coming back. So by rotating it like this, it allows that foam to start to re-expand, and it gets rid of a lot of those wrinkles that are just naturally formed when you sit in one seat most of the time. I sit in this seat right here the most. One, I keep my pump there, my phone charger, everything just fits nicely on that table. But also, Bobby sits in the chair right next to it. So if him and I are watching TV, hanging out, I like sitting right next to my husband. I don't know. I'm weird. But this stuff does need to get wiped down and reorganized and cleaned on the daily. I will say, though, my biggest annoyance when it comes to most things are cords. I am still trying to figure out the perfect way to hide all the cords in our life. But nowadays, like, everything has cords on it. And I do hate the way cords look, so I'm still working on it, trying to figure out how to disguise cords to the best of my ability.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by.
So one of these days, I need to print out some more pictures. I have a couple small frames throughout the house that I haven't updated in about a year or so. So I want to print some more photos out. I was kind of waiting for Athena to get a little bit bigger. Now that she's sitting on her own, though, like, once a baby can start sitting, the pictures all turn out so much cuter. I actually just shared one of her the other day. I got a really cute picture of her sitting with one of her toys. And it's a photo that I really want to get printed out and added that into just some of the photos around the house. But I'm also thinking I want to go thrifting for some like antique frames, smaller frames. The frames I have are like, I don't know, the cheap ones you get from Kohl's or whatnot. And I really would like to get some really pretty antique smaller frames. I just think it'd look really nice to have those just throughout the house. I love family photos. I am someone that I don't like my walls completely full of artwork and stuff. I like to have some bare spots, but I still like that cozy family feeling throughout the house. We are making some crab ravioli for dinner tonight, mainly because when we went up to St. Augustine, Bobby and I had some lobster ravioli, and we were honestly both very disappointed by it. So now I've been craving good ravioli. So we are going to make some tonight. Plus I have some white wine that Bobby nor I really liked. And best thing to do with wine that you don't like is cook with it. So to make the pasta dough, I am taking 2 cups of flour and 3 duck eggs, or 4 chicken eggs. Duck eggs are larger, so I am using only 3 of them. Oh no, avalanche! Stay in, stay in. And then about a teaspoon of salt. Homemade pasta is actually so easy to make. And it's a great way if you have egg-laying birds, if it be chickens or in my case ducks, to use up eggs is just by making your own pasta. So I start just by whisking the eggs, slowly pulling in flour as I go.
I feel better every day. The troubles I had have been washed away. I'm cleaning up my act and moving on.
When it comes to making any dough, it is one of those things that over time you learn the feel and the texture. So you want this to be a fairly smooth dough. You don't want it very dry. You don't want it sticky. So you add just a little bit of water, a little bit of flour as needed, but making sure just to add very little bits at a time so you get this nice smooth dough that's not very sticky, but also not too dry. Make is pretty simple. I have the dough resting over here, but I got some crab meat. This is the imitation crab. It's just what I had on hand. You can also use lump crab meat from a can, fresh, whatever you want. I actually really like this imitation crab meat, so it's just nice to have on hand. But I'm gonna take some of this. I'm gonna save that for putting some more in the sauce. So I'm still gonna use that, but I'm going to grab some ricotta, as well as some Parmesan. I'm just gonna use what's left in here. And then I'm going to add some Creole seasoning and mix that all together. Dough has relaxed for like 30 minutes on the counter. I'm going to take some flour. That way it just doesn't stick as I'm rolling it out. I like to grab a step stool because I'm short. And then we have to make this pretty thin. So we're just gonna roll it until it is nice and thin.
I know why I should try to find out why.
I actually just got my new pasta roller the other day, and I made our family's famous chicken noodle soup with it, and oh my goodness, it made my life so much easier. My least favorite thing to do when making noodles is rolling out the dough. One, I am short, so I always need a step stool to really be able to get like the grip I need on it. So being able to just put it into a machine makes it so much easier. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's thin enough that I can see light through it. So that is how I know I've got it thin enough to start working with it. This is obviously a lot easier if you have a pasta roller. Takes a little bit of work doing it by hand. So now this half of the dough, I am going to cover with a towel just to help prevent it from drying out. And then this half of the dough is where I'm going to start putting our filling. And then once I had all of that on there, I just grabbed a small cup of water and just brushed it around. This will just help seal it. Also, I in fact did not have the pasta thin enough. It tasted fine and it worked out fine, but I wish I would have spent another couple minutes really thinning this out even more, because once I layered them on top of each other, it was pretty thick. So yes, definitely will make it thinner next time. It worked out just fine. And then using just the pizza cutter to cut them all out and a fork to crimp the edges. This is not restaurant style ravioli, so don't come after me. I am no professional, just a simple home cook here. But they tasted delicious, and I feel like in the end, that is really what matters.
Stumbling out of bed, and I still got you in my head from all those pretty words you said. It's like I'm wasted. Every time I see your face, I'm losing track of time and space. I don't know where I am. It's like I'm wasted, and I won't waste it. And I promise that I will stand by you forever.
So now for the sauce, I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of butter, melt that down in this pot, and with that butter, I'm going to add garlic. I think I'm actually just going to add what's left in here because there's not a crazy amount, as well as some onions. I just have some thinly cut up onions from the other night when we did burgers. So these are just extra, so we're gonna throw those in here and let that all come together with that butter. And I have water boiling over here that we will end up cooking the ravioli in for like 3 minutes or something. I just need to add salt to that. work on multitasking. The ravioli we know is pretty much done. Like I said, it's about 3 minutes, or once it all starts floating to the top, it lets me know that I can pull it out. And it's gonna cook a little bit longer in the sauce once I have the sauce ready. I'm gonna take about 3/4 cup of white wine. And then you just let that cook until it condenses about halfway down.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just want.
Now before I dump out this pasta water, I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup of the pasta water into the sauce. That our sauce has condensed down, now I can add in some heavy cream, about 1/4 cup. And then once again, you want that to condense down, that way it gets nice and creamy. So we're gonna let it sit again for a couple minutes and just let it simmer. I'm now gonna add in a couple more tablespoons of butter and let that mix in, along with about 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. The rest of my crab meat into the sauce. And I just cut these into bite-sized chunks. So this has gotten nice and thick. Bring this back over to the burner and put it on low. We're just gonna take this and dump it all over the top. Do a little bit more Parmesan on top. And then I just made a salad to go with dinner tonight, so keep it pretty simple. But I want this to just simmer together on low for like 20 minutes. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.